But I want to begin on a personal note, because anytime you talk about overcoming structural violence to reduce health disparities, building the beloved community, you already are beginning with certain assumptions, and these assumptions do not take the form of propositions, they take the form of certain lives. So I want to be honest with you. I am who I am because somebody loved me. Somebody cared for me. Somebody attended to me. You can't talk about building the beloved community if you don't begin with your own experience of being loved that allows you to cultivate the capacity to love, to care, to be willing to serve others. That's what I love about Samuel Merritt University, founded in 1909 to do what? Care, nurture, keep track of those who have been wounded and bruised and scarred. That's what it is to be part of a sacred profession, be it nursing or any other kind of therapeutic practice in a market-driven society in which to care is to make you countercultural. Because they sing songs in order to stir your soul, like the soul stirrers of Sam Cooke and Johnnie Taylor and Lou Rawls. They didn't just sing 7-11 songs that stimulate and titillate your body. You know those 7-11 songs got 11 words in them and they sing it 7 times. Over and over. Where's the story? Where's the narrative? Where's the drama in your song that touch souls so people can straighten their backs up? You can't talk about building the beloved community unless you straighten your back up, and to be niggardized in America, to be told that somehow you're less beautiful, less moral, and less intelligent, to be told that you have the wrong hips and lips and noses and hair texture and skin pigmentation. You need something to straighten your back up, and anytime you straighten your backs up, those the great Sly Stone called everyday people. Oh, when they straighten their backs up, they're going somewhere, because folk can't ride your back unless it's bent. Because we also have an unapologetic love. But it's a love that understands that justice is what love looks like in public.
Yes. All right.
Just like tenderness is what love feels like in private. And what black people, in 400 years of dealing with American terrorism, and never forget it, the black church is an anti-terrorist organization. It's fighting terror, psychic terror, spiritual terror, social terror, physical terror. Where you gonna get the courage to tell and love in the face of terror? With this marvelous militancy among our younger brothers and sisters of all colors, but disproportionately chocolate. It's a beautiful awakening given the sleepwalking that's been going on for the last 35 or 40 years with the massive transfer of wealth from poor and working people to the well-to-do. But 1% of the population used to own 20% of the wealth. Now they own 43% of the wealth and gaining every day. In the last 6 years under the present administration, the top 1% gained 97% of all the income growth. They need it like I need a hole in the head. And yet 40% of our precious children of all colors live in poverty in the richest nation in the history of the world. That's a moral abomination that's ethically obscene. And 22% of all children of all colors, each one of them precious, living in poverty in the richest nation in the history of the world, with the wealth inequality increasing. You can't talk about reducing health disparities unless you talk about targeting poverty. But where are the voices talking about poverty these days? Don't look for it in the political system. No, not at all. One party, right-wing, mean-spirited, cold-hearted, tied to big money, big banks, and big corporations. The other party, milquetoast, spineless, tied to big banks, big corporations, big money. Where are the voices? Concerned about poor people, working people. How do we muster the courage to tell the truth and commit it to something bigger than ourselves in such a way that we're willing to sacrifice our popularity in order to tell that truth and bear witness? Everything around me. That's what Wu-Tang Clan say. But it doesn't have to rule me. That I can aspire to integrity. Because I have a memory of a grandmother and a grandfather. I have a memory of a people who struggle. I have a memory of a tradition that said, in the face of oppression, I'm wondering, how shall integrity face oppression? To be committed to integrity in America is to be countercultural against the mainstream. But you don't ask for it. You bear witness until it comes. And whatever legacy, it's a legacy not of you. It's a legacy of what comes through you. You see, I was taught in Sunday school, if the kingdom of God is within you, then everywhere you go, you ought to leave a little heaven behind. It's not about you. It's about what comes through you. You see, that's the love train that Curtis Mayfield sang about when he said, people get ready. So I have great hope for Oakland. But as we know, it's not going to be measured just in terms of the black faces in high places. It's going to be how strong your social movement is. How much pressure can be brought to bear, you see. Because nowadays, you know, they've got so many black folk who will come in as the public face of the oppression. As long as they get paid enough, you see. And there's a long history of that, but now it's becoming even more and more intense. This is what I mean when I say we live in the age of the sellouts. That people are too eager to sell their souls for a mess of pottage. And it's partly because they reached the conclusion there's no other alternative, so I might as well get mine now. Everybody else is getting theirs. If survival of the slickest, I might as well learn how to be slick. Martin Luther King Jr. was a petty bourgeois Negro preacher. Upper middle class. Oh, but he loved so. He loved so. He believed that blood at the cross was not Kool-Aid. It was thick. It transformed him. And like Stokely Carmichael, and like Malcolm X, and like Ella Baker, he had a love affair with poor people. Nothing could turn him into a sellout. That's why even the Black Panther Party would always speak well of Martin. Martin, we disagree with your nonviolence. Martin, don't you realize you're dealing with a white supremacist? But we know you never will sell out. I mean, the FBI ain't no joke.
No, you're right.
Ain't no joke. The powers that be ain't no joke. So we do have to acknowledge the context that's in place for those who choose to go another way. You see. On the other hand, oftentimes we black people, we think too little of ourselves, and therefore we accept too little. And all we want is symbolic victory. Oh, we got a black man in the White House who is articulate, charismatic, eloquent. Barack Obama is a brilliant black man. He's a charismatic black man. There's no doubt about that. But if you believe the white supremacist hype that says somehow that's abnormal. I grew up with brilliant Negroes. I'm not surprised. I had eloquent Negroes in my church. I had folk in my Sunday school much more talented than me. They just died before I did. That's not a surprise for me. That's a surprise for a lot of people, including black people. See what I mean? So that part of that is the white supremacy inside of us that gives us a low expectation of what we are worthy and what we deserve. You see?